Hello guys and welcome. So today I'm going to be having a look at one of these cheap Chinese sports cameras that you can find on sites like eBay and AliExpress for a really good price. I'm going to be checking out if they're any good and testing them and recording some test footage with it later on so that I can show you guys what it looks like before you guys buy one. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So, first impressions, the packaging is very flimsy and very cheap. It was kind of damaged in shipping also, because it wasn't packed that well, so that makes it look even worse. But overall it's not like a very sturdy package, if you can see. Yeah, it is cheaply packed, but it is a very cheap camera, so that's acceptable still. Here on the side we can see all the mounting hardware and stuff we're getting with it. And on the back we've got some basic specifications for it. It's video quality and frame rates and stuff, the screen and all of this stuff. Yeah, so that's basically all you can see on the outside. So let's get right into this thing now. So it just opens up from the top, then it comes out. Okay, and then in here, we've got the little camera here up top. Already installed inside of the waterproof casing. Okay, put that aside. And then have a look at what's in here. So here we have one mounting bracket. This looks like the camera goes into this one without the waterproofing case. Or if you want to do other stuff, it can fit onto like a standard tripod. On both sides, I guess both sides round. And it's got this little mount, which also has that standard tripod mount thingy on the bottom. Don't know exactly what the point is of that. So yeah, that's interesting. I think it seems like it can screw right onto the bottom of the camera, like the waterproof case. Yeah, you got that. And then we have this little thing. Not so sure what all of this stuff is, exactly how it goes together, but yeah. And then this little mounting bracket with the adhesive on the bottom. I think this might, or not, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly about this. Yeah, but anyways, another mounting bracket. It's got quite a lot of mounting hardware here. Okay, now this one I know. This is like for mounting it onto the handrail of a bicycle or like a motorcycle or a pole or something. You can mount it. And then next, let's see. Here we have looks like a little strap. And some Velcro strips as well. Let's open this up and see. Exactly. Yeah, so I'm guessing you use this with some of the other parts of it. Because this is just basically a Velcro strap. Maybe with this. I'm not sure exactly, so don't quote me on that. There's two of those. So you can strap it with them to something. And then it has these little belt thingies as well. I guess we'll have to read the instructions to see exactly how these work. But yeah, it basically then just has two of them. Which I guess you also use to tie it to stuff, because it has a little clip. So you would feed it through here, I guess, something like that. Then just push the clip close. Like that, and you would have it basically closed up like that. So yeah, that's nice. I'm really not sure exactly where you would use those on it. I'm really thinking maybe with this. It also doesn't really make sense. Or this, even, maybe. Or this. Well, I really don't know, so I'm sure in its manual they will show it. Okay, and then the last thing we have in here is a little micro USB charging cable. I believe it's also for data connection. Okay. And then we have the little manual. Okay, and yes, in here they show you how you can configure the camera different ways. Yeah, and here they show you use the Velcro straps with that little base I was thinking. So I was correct about that. To mount it onto like your helmet or stuff like that, your bicycle helmet. So yeah, that's basically a little manual, how you can set it up different ways. And then all of the settings here of the camera also they show. And on the other side, they basically just show the camera. This seems to be a kind of like a universal manual, because this camera doesn't have all of the features I can see here. They're showing right here, like the HDMI and stuff, it doesn't have. Okay, yeah, so that's basically it for the manual. Okay, let's put that aside. Let's have a look at the camera itself. So here we have the camera already inside of its waterproof case. Supposedly it can go 30 meters underwater with this. I wouldn't trust that exactly. I would let it go a couple of meters, but I don't think 30 meters probably. That must be a stretch. It's kind of a similar design to the GoPros. So yeah, that's nice. Okay. So let's open it up and have a look at the camera inside itself. So up top here I see it has a little like latch thingy clasp to keep it closed. You see it just hooks up over like that and it clips in to keep it closed. So you just pull the clip on the top and it flips open like that. And then the back opens. It has a gasket just here to seal it and some pieces of foam rubber to keep the camera in place. I guess that's fine. Don't know how durable that will really be over the long term, but I guess it's okay at this price range. So yeah, and that's just the acrylic box, little case, protective case. Don't know exactly just how strong this is really, if it could take a few hits, but I think it might crack, even though it's pretty thick. It feels pretty sturdy, so I guess it's better than nothing. Okay, but then here now we have the little camera itself. So it has a little 2-inch screen on it here on the back side, and then on the side, one side, it has a micro SD slot for your memory card because it doesn't have any internal storage. That's perfectly fine. I want to record to SD card in any ways with a camera like this. And it has a micro USB for charging. And on the front it has the camera lens itself. It has a little power on and off button and mode button. It says HD 1080p. And then on this side it just has an up and down arrow. You can see the speakers here, I believe, from the diagram it was. Okay. Then on top it has an OK button. I believe you use this for recording as well. You push it when you want to record or take a picture. Okay, and on the bottom you have a little flap under which we have the battery. That just has a little pull tab. Okay, so this is the battery. It's a 3.7 volt lithium ion battery with at 900 milliamp hours. I have to say it's a very light and very, if you can see that, soft battery. Like it feels like it's just full of air basically. So I don't think this battery is really a 900 milliamp hours, even though that's not much. So yeah, that's basically the battery for you. It's not very impressive physically. Don't know how well it will last in the camera. So that just goes inside here. And yeah, that's it. Okay, let's fire this thing up. I hope it has some charge in it from the factory, and see what it's like. Okay, and it does turn on, and it does have some charge, and its factory default setting is at 1080p. So let's see, how do you change the mode? They said that this button here at the front, so you can do that. Then it's a 16 megapixel camera supposedly. It also has an audio recorder. And then yeah, nothing. Okay, so yeah, from the look of things, the video that I'm getting on this little screen isn't very good. So it's supposed to be a 1080p camera at like 15 frames and I didn't get that out of the way just. And then it's supposed to be a 30 frames per second at 720p. So this is set to 1080p right now. And yeah, I can see the frame rate isn't great. But yeah, that might just be because it's only 15 frames per second. That's not great. That's not even cinematic. So yeah, that's basically it. I think I'll just pop a memory card in here now. If I know which way around. It looks like it goes this way. Just a small little memory card just for testing. There we go, and I think, yes, it has detected it while it's on. I don't have to reboot it. So now I'm just going to go out and take some test footage with this and see how good it works. So let us cut to the test footage now, and then we'll come back after that and I'll give you my thoughts about it. Hello. Okay, so this is my test footage for this camera of my cat. So let's see what it's like. Okay, so I'm back after that horrendous test footage. I decided to only include one test video of one scenario because I did test it in different scenarios and I even tested its photo function. And it was all pretty bad. And one of the things that kind of was strange to me even was that even if I changed the little camera to its 720p setting, it didn't change at all. I would come in here on the little screen. You can see there it has the different modes, and I would take it down to 720p because I thought maybe something was wrong when it's recording in 1080p. But even if I set it to that, it would all be the same. There's the test footage still, and yeah, it would record the same quality. And neither of these is even remotely close to being 720p and even less 1080p. So overall, I am quite disappointed in the quality of this camera. I think it's quite a misrepresentation. I know it's a really cheap camera, so I wasn't expecting too much from it. But at least they could have said, yeah, it only records in VGA quality and it doesn't really record 1080p, because it's complete misrepresentation to the people who are buying this. I mean, some people would not even get it, because to some people this camera they would seem, yeah, this is really cheap and it's gonna be 720p. They would think, yeah, it's great, but then when they get it, it's a big disappointment to them. So yeah, this is a cheap Chinese camera that I would not recommend. I have some upcoming videos about some other sports cameras as well. That's a little more expensive than this one. And yeah, you guys will have to stay tuned to see exactly what my thoughts is on those ones. But for now, this little camera, I would not recommend buying these really cheap sports cameras from places like eBay and in South Africa specifically Better Buy, because they're really not worth the money that you're paying for them. I mean, if you're buying it as a toy for a kid, maybe that might be fine, but even then, it's not a great camera, even for them. In our modern age, with our cell phones being capable of recording in easily 1080p, I would have at least expected something better from this. So, my conclusion is just don't bother with this camera. I would recommend spending a little more and getting something proper. But you'll have to stay tuned to see my review of the other sports camera I'm getting, because that is coming soon, in maybe a week or two. But for now, please like this video if you liked it and found it informative. And please hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this, because there's lots more to come. And soon next there is coming up my review of the V8 smartwatch, which I have been using for about a week now. And it's gonna be quite an interesting one. So stay tuned for that.